than the other. You know, they have their strengths, they have their weaknesses. But, you know, it's very interesting to see how these characters are piloted the way they are. And you start to see it in early round pools a little bit when one player starts to be able to move a little bit more than the other player does. And we'll see how this goes, man. These are two players that have played Rivals for a long time, so I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, if you're a top seed, this is your Twitter clip set.
Right.
You get to just kind of do whatever you want. You say, look what I pulled off in bracket at CEO, and you just don't mention that it's up against the 300 seed.
Listen, the only thing that matters is out of the amount of views you get, right?
True. Bigger number, better person.
Do you get on the Renzo community combo video at the end of it?
That's the real challenge there. Try to get on the daily videos or the weekly videos. Ooh, okay. Pretty even so far. These two are just feeling each other out. We haven't seen any big, like, hard read combo starters.
Sure, one or two pieces here or there. I mean, and that's what Godai's for, right? You've got those two twin platforms on either side. You got a little bit of an escape route for either player as well.
So we'll see what comes of that come next week, because that upper blast zone is going to get lowered. It might get a little bit more exploitable if you're not careful. Speaking of exploitable when you're not careful, that Clarin recovery is a little bit risky when you go low.
Yeah, and you have the pressure down there from the Orcane Nair as well. Didn't get close enough to stage to tech and obviously fell to his death there.
Good DI.
Needs to clean this up.
Ooh, get caught with that up tilt. That's the classic. It's so hard to approach Clarin from that angle. A lot of characters you like to come in on diagonally, but Clarin is not one of them. Up smash not going to kill.
And it's such a good tool for her, too. So not only is it a great anti-air, but like it leads at low percent into really strong combo strings and high percents into these great kill options as well. It's do it all, man. It's a Swiss Army knife of moves for her.
Though right now struggling to kill, and Olsen is taking full advantage. This could have been a very even game, but instead, look how this is turned around. Tries to combo with the puddle. I like the idea, but not quite enough plus frames.
I like the fact that you can really feel the influences from the developers in this game as well, because like puddle on the ground is effectively Snake C4, right?
Yeah,
you can see
true.
the fact that you're just like, okay, here's this throw combo into this kill move. Oh, you're going to forget about the fact that it's over here.
Oh. Okay, we're getting a little bit messy.
Yeah. Listen, it's round one.
Okay, nice coverage there. Falls down, closes it out with the down strong. Now evened up, or excuse me, not evened up, the wrong way. 3 stocks to 1, excuse me,
the
for
Strider.
Widens.
And right now, you're just seeing forward throw after forward throw. There's not much of a mix-up if you go for the same option every time. You got to mix in the back throw because it'll lead into a strong attack of some kind. You just have to swing for it.
We see so many floor hugs coming out. That's another thing that is going to be very interesting to follow in the coming days, but we're not on that patch just yet. Strider taking full advantage, hold down to win, 69%. The Super Saiyan is activated. Can you find the comeback?
Okay. I like the addition here. So when Clarin's got their opponents at these low percents, you want to go for those throw options, but it's hard to throw when you can't make it back to the stage.
Yeah, Strider struggling off stage. Olsen doing a very good job of using that special get-up just to shut them down.
So a little bit of flubs here from both players. Definitely not something that's incorrectable going into game 2, right? We could easily see this force a game 3, but I mean, Strider just has to have a little bit better option choices, a little bit more, variety in how they follow up certain things.
Okay, we are running it back. I think a big reason that Strider wants to go here is because of the platform height. You're comfortable with the up strong tippers, the F strong tippers, but unfortunately you're not comfortable off stage. You called it. 11%, and already Olsen stealing away that stock.
I play Clarin quite a bit, and so as soon as I saw him drop down there and also burn that jump, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's a GG's right there. You just have to pray that your opponent messes up their timing, but you can just react, so it's really tough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you want to make corrections, you want to make these adjustments. We're in a good spot right now. We just have to clean this up, something we didn't see in game 1.
Ooh, great catch with the back air there, and the conversion from Olsen. Stuck in the corner again. Strider going for the early recovery. Saves his life, but rinse and repeat. And there's that get-up attack once again. So hard to deal with. Read the no-tech and unfortunately dies for it.
And great read on that special get-up there. Orcane does have that small little hop, which allowed the up-strong there to actually go into the strong attack. Those platforms, it can be a little bit tricky to get that final hit. Usually get the weak attack instead.
Bit of a whiff there from Olsen. That gives Strider an opportunity. You can still bring this back. Only a 50-ish% differential, but just like that with the bad DI on the trade. So unfortunate for Strider continuing to be pressured in this set.
I mean, it's tough to overcome that, man. You know, you have these mistakes that lead into these moments, and I mean, we're in early pools. People are having fun, but you know, you're on stage at CEO. You want to show off to your buddies. You want that clip later on, right?
Exactly, and that clip seems to be coming Olsen's way. Finally, Strider swinging out, gets the F strong. Not going to be able to do too much with it. 94% though. You got to watch out for those tippers.
Continued pressure here from Olsen. And then that right there is just a key example of why this matchup is going in their favor. You're seeing the same options working time and time again, and that will be just enough to do it, man. You see that up tilt, it leads directly into that back air on not the best DI. You want to hold hard out, but when you're already at that high of percent, holding out can be death in its own right. So
yeah, exactly.
It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation.
And that up tilt hitbox is quite large. He was sitting all the way on the tail, still gets clipped by it. It's a tough situation to find yourself in, but great stuff to be able to close that out for Olsen. It showed the power of the character, and we saw kind of maybe a mix between the two different extremes of what we were talking about at the beginning of like how do you use that puddle, how do you pilot this character on rushdown versus zoning. And sometimes you find yourself right in the middle.
Sure.
The Goldilocks zone.
So while we're getting this set up, tell me, man, who do you play?
Oh, I play Forsburn.
Nice.
And I'll be honest, I feel
that's
like
right.
I'm going through it a little bit.
We're on the commentary thing the other day. You're waiting for Absa.
Yeah, exactly. I think Absa's going to be the one. We'll see. I think that's the sole character. If not, maybe we'll keep searching. Thankfully, the game is sick enough that I feel like I can play anyone for the time being.
Sure.
And I'll just keep grinding the fundies until the right one comes along.
Man, I tell you, it's such a unique experience because they really do try to pull from so many games. You know, obviously you have people from, you know, if I remember correctly, Dan was originally a KI dev, like Killer Instinct, and then you have Trevor Youngblood, of course, who did PM, P+, whatever you want to call it. This isn't Nintendo stream, I think, right?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I had to think about it for a second.
I was like, oh, I might have. But you see these influences come in, and like Zetter's a great example of that too.
Yes.
Dan has spoken at length about the fact that it's based not only on Wolf from Brawl, but a League of Legends character as well. So like those flame impacts, things like that. Those are you see the influences from different games, and the creativity is they're reliant on that. So
yeah, and he's got a more like melee-esque shine on top of that because like it's not just a Brawl Wolf clone. They took the parts of the spacey archetype that they liked from different games.
And so, Absa coming back, getting all the characters have gotten pretty significant reworks. You look at Olympia as a great example. Some of her moves are now like get-up specials, and like they've changed certain things on it. I'm curious to see what they all do with Absa. I watched the trailer and was not happy to see it at all. Shout out to GPIC. He has given me PTSD from Absa Claren from Rivals 1. But then you look at new characters, right? Like La Reina will be coming sometime next year. And while she is a new to the Rivals direct scene, she was obviously a Rivals workshop character in Rivals 1. That's a very interesting character. It's similar to like Beowulf in, what is it? Skullgirls. And so like Beowulf in that game has like these options to have the chair out, and he can like pull the chair back towards him.
Okay.
La Reina's got these same sort of things with Magnus. She can pull the chair back to her.
Interesting.
She's going to be able to throw the chair out. It's a very setup heavy character. Then you have Hodan, who's a charge character.
Yes, that character's wild.
Charge characters in platform fighters. Who would have thought? It's fascinating to look at the behind the scenes, the thinking and the thought process that goes into this development. I got to credit the team for making each character feel extremely different.
Yeah, we are definitely in an era of homogenization in fighting games, and that is something that I am very thankful that the Rivals team has not leaned into. There are certain universal things, like we realized jump squats can be real annoying if one character's is frame 8 and one's is frame 2, so we can homogenize that.
Right.
But overall, every character is such a unique archetype, and I think that is absolutely the way to go with a game like Rivals that doesn't have a lot of characters, so you have to make each one count. Right.
I mean, right now you see obviously 16 spots on the board. That will obviously grow over time because you have the originals coming back, plus the new special things we've got coming on. But we have, speaking of new, we have new players on screen.
Yes,
we have Uncle Moten, I believe, and Osh9. They both were warming up a Claren earlier. I'm curious to see if that is actually what we're going to be selecting. But I saw the gentleman on the right there, dripped out in shadow gear. That is a shadow leather jacket, a shadow shirt.
That does look clean.
My man is all about it, and he actually plays on a hitbox as well, which is really fascinating to watch for a platform fighter.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of hitbox players for Rivals. I feel like it's because of how well they have set up the controls for a regular controller in this game with the way the buffers work and the fact that you can actually map certain things that you can't in other platform fighters. Like even Ultimate, people will pick box in that game just for the consistency.
Sure.
And I don't feel like you need that in Rivals. Personally, I don't feel like I need it.
I don't want to actually you, but there's actually a super deep lore of keyboard players
Ooh,
from
tell
Rivals
me about
1.
Let me know.
Rivals 1, you could not play 2 keyboard players side by side. It would crash the game.
Okay.
So what you had to do in tournament 1, you would see them far apart. You would pray that they did not meet ever in fucking bracket. But you would literally have to set up 2 computers, LAN them, and then play the keyboard players against each other.
Oh, that's awful.
You could not play it on the same thing. So you have players like Windows, for example, who's now BioBurb. And BioBurb plays on this like combination keyboard and box controller now.
Yes.
So you have these niche examples, obviously, that really kind of progressed forward on the meta of controllers. When we'll get a second, I'll talk about Cheesy Potatoes controller.
Yeah, Cheesy Potato. You've seen the tweets like,
that controller's
Dan, I will
broken.
abuse everything I can. You better make these rules airtight. But
So
we're not talking about Cheesy right now. We're talking about Uncle Moten and Osh9.
Yeah, Claren, Olympia, a matchup that was pretty heavily favored in Claren's favor in the first game. Now with obviously the ability for Olympia to move quite a bit faster really negates a lot of this pressure because she's going to be doing these vertical approaches, these up and downs with the nairs and the up airs and sometimes the downers as well, and you are too far gone, my friend. That is unfortunate.
Another Claren, another edge guard. That's just going to be the name of the game with this character. She can only recover so high. It's going to be critical for Moten throughout this set to hold that center stage to force Osh9 to be the one approaching.
I just saw the tag. Shout out to Goody. Oh, hey, we're both just dropping off sometimes. It happens.
Yeah, sometimes if you burn the jump, you're just dead in this game. It's very risky, especially with these characters.
Yeah, I mean, Claren herself, quite a fast faller, and then you have Olympia, who has just rocks tied to her feet. I mean,
this character is so fast that it takes me half a stock whenever I run into one to remember that I have to adjust my combo route.
Sure, right. You have to do them 20% later, 30% later.
Ooh, that up air is so nasty. It's got like the Pikachu tail hitbox from Melee. I love that hitbox so much.
I knew there was something that it was pulling from. I couldn't figure out what it was. The Pikachu man.
Yeah, it's the Pikachu hitbox.
That is 100% right.
It's so satisfying to hit as well. Ooh, things that are satisfying to hit. Speaking of that neutral special, not going to connect, but Moten showing a willingness to go for those hard reads and going for the up air as well, cleaning up the stock.
There could have been a little bit of DI there, but I mean, with the way that Olympia falls, it's just tough. There are such unique combos that only work on her because of her physics.
Yeah, it makes knowing the matchup very important, not just because you can get blown up by that helicopter right there.
What a call out. Only 14%. It was at 0, but what a shot nonetheless. The angled neutral blade to basically return to stage.
Ooh, jab checks in neutral. That's a classic. I mean, Olympia's real stubby, so that jab is going to be doing even more work than usual for Claren.
Yeah, that's what made it so hard in the first game is you could do F-tilt, you could do fair, you could do jab, and Olympia kind of had to work really hard to get all the way around that. Now in this game, because of how fast she falls, if she full hops, she really can just get away with so much.
And Osh almost had it there, was looking for the air dodge to hit him with the up special, not able to find it, and then didn't expect the lack of air dodge the second time, and now Moten is able to get back after a really scary scenario, continuing to push away with this lead.
Close one there. That down tilt actually is super important to go for that neutral B off stage. But a little lackluster recovery there from Osh9, and Uncle Moten, despite the early mistakes, comes back and comes out on top.
You gotta respect your elders. Ooh, we seen a character swap. Maybe a little bit frustrated by that stubbiness, the difficulty with getting in, the difficulty with getting edge guarded so many times. Just pick a character with a better recovery.
Sure. And only a minor change in the controls, too. Goes from tilts to strongs on the sticks, which if you're going to play Crag, why not just smack somebody as hard as you can?
I don't know how people play with 2 different control schemes on different characters. I'm very impressed by it. Like the mental context switch based on who's on the screen, I don't know how y'all do it. My muscle memory is rigid.
Well, there's so much creativity in like the actual control schemes in this game, too.
Yes.
Walk modifiers, jump modifiers, your special button in the air, it boggles the mind.
And even like accessibility things like the auto-buffered short hop aerials, which people like us, we're never going to use those. But it's awesome that that is available for people who are coming from a game like Alt and really struggle to do a short hop, for example. It's great.
Yeah, you don't want it's mid-game, obviously, but you don't want barriers of entry that are just not fun to deal with, right?
Yeah, for sure. And that's been the name of the game with this game. Ooh, breaks the pillar. This is scary. You're in the no-fun zone.
Yeah,
Bro, he wants that so bad.
You just can't do it when they're already on stage, though. Like, I get it, but, like, you got to let it rip early.
Uncle has been trying to find that since this set started. We'll have to see if it comes out. Right now, Osh9 is looking, I think, pretty similar to the last game.
That's crazy. Uncle Moten did not get the confirm and just ripped the combo anyways. And unfortunately, Osh9 dropped, and then the down strong connected. Was going for the down air down strong and just said, I'm going to do it anyways.
Ooh. Gets past that neutral B. Once again, Uncle kind of paying for trying to use that option. That time it's just a stall. That's pretty normal. Down air safe. Not going to be able to do much on that. And then the Nair plane coming out.
Oh, the step back forward smash. Enough to do it there. You know, Osh9 not without answers of his own. You know, both these guys have got some, you know, defensive holes that we could take a look at later on. But, you know, right now just establishing neutral is the biggest thing for Osh9. Needs to get back into something resembling center stage.
Ooh, you got lucky. Held out and just barely stayed alive. Their special get up doesn't get punished, but the coverage knew you were going to jump out. You're a Mii Brawler player. Of course you're jumping in neutral, and you died for it.
That is such a big hitbox on that down strong. It is an anti-air, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's crazy when you look up the Rivals hitbox visualizer. Some of these moves, you're like, really? Huh?
They've toned it down since the first game. In the first game, that first hitbox went up to her ear. Like, it literally was like, oh, you're jumping in, you're dead.
Insane.
Oh, goes for the neutral B on that to stall it, but does not answer fast enough.
They're covering the high recovery. Uncle does not care, finds a way back in. Again, going for those neutral beat covers in the corner. Not comfortable with things like down tilt and F-strong in the corner as options. Would rather go for the big damage.
We are just a point too far. Osh9 going to fall really to a war of attrition than anything else. I mean, the damage just stacked higher and higher and higher.
I can definitely see why Osh started with the Olympia. Like I mentioned, Mii Brawler player. The two are very similar characters, maybe just not quite ready with it yet. We'll see what ends up happening.
Sure.
The Krag looked decent as well. Osh is a great Smash player, so I could definitely see him turning it up in the future of this game, but today maybe not as the day.
It's one of those things where you see some people kind of dive into it right away and be able to switch between games, and then you see some people who still have some of those like Smash habits built into it, right? You know, the older Rivals players can see what game you're used to depending on how you use your shield, what you do from throws. You know, you have these like poker tells, right? Like,
yes.
If you throw up your shield in neutral, you probably played Smash 4 or you played Ultimate, and you think that's the way to go. Really, it should be based off your movement. When you go into your throw combos, and if you're immediately teching away, or if your ledge dashes are super crispy, you probably played Melee at some point. So, you know, you have these interesting things you could just go, I think I know your history. I think I know what you have done into this. So
that's one of my
favorite. The Mii Brawler to Olympia is a really great example of that.
That's one of my favorite things about playing ranked in this game, because you get so many people, so much churn between opponents every couple of games.
Sure.
And you get to try to play that little mind game every time. And like you said, you figure out, okay, what game are they from? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How do I adapt my game plan accordingly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there's, you know, recovery is a great example of that too, and how you pressure somebody off stage. And once you kind of crack that nut, you're just like, okay, well, I'm going to keep doing this until you correct it. And if you don't correct it, GG's. So
yeah, GG, shake my hand. You don't have long to adapt, so you better do it quickly.
We have a winner's quarters coming up now for us
soon. Already?
Yeah, no, it's quick, man. So I believe, I was looking at earlier, it's 3 wins and you're out depending on where your seed is. If you're a lower seed, I think it's 4, but if you're a higher seed with a bye, it's just 3. And, oh, man, Renzo did it. Let's go. So, give you some lore here,
Give me some lore. Drop it on me.
Do you know the name Thronork?
Oh, yes, I do.
Do you know the name Torque? Do you know how he plays his bird? Because you're going to see how he plays his bird.
All right, so, I'm ready to see. I'm going to watch and learn.
One of, if not like one of the few people that like do routinely stream and has a community following for it. Johnny is from Michigan, a super, super great kid. And has loved this game and has loved competing in this forever. And like in Rivals 1, went and traveled a bunch, and now in Rivals 2 went and did the kind of the same thing for us. But it's really cool. So his work sponsors him. He works for a fitness club up in I'm blanking on the name of this. Forgive me, Johnny. But he's got it on his shirt. It's his gear. It says Torque across the back, or Throne Orc. I can't remember which. But like they put it on at the gym. Like people watch him play.
That's
when he goes
very
to
cool.
And
so you can be pumping iron while you watch him. That's great.
And he's just a sweetheart. You know, I've known him for the longest time, and you know, like in a lot of players, I've watched them grow up over time, just given my age.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's really cool to see him out this. This is his first CEO. He was super excited to be here, and he really wanted more than anything to make it on stream for this. So I'm hoping that this is going to go well for him, because unfortunately what lies after this is the boogeyman in the dark, the monster in the bed, under the bed, because after you get through Winners Quarters, you got to go Winners Semis. Winners Semis makes you out of pools. Winners Semis, you have to play Marlin. So I'm glad we're putting this match on stream. Let me put it like that.
That's a little tough. Marlin, our #1 seed for a reason, has been dominating the game lately. There was questions for a while. Is it Cake Assault? Is it Marlin? At the moment, it's looking like it's Marlin.
Front desk Johnny.
There we go. Front desk Johnny right there. That's awesome. I love to see when people can have that crossover between work and fun. And hopefully for his teammates over at the gym, as they're pumping iron, they'll see a W today and not an L.
And then he's going to be playing up against Dano. I can't say I am as familiar. My apologies to both him and Stream. But this should be a fun one. Torque plays Raster, who is the beneficiary of this upcoming patch, if I've ever seen one.
Yes, I'm very excited for the new Raster. I have wanted to like that character since the game came out, but it hasn't clicked with me, and most of it has been because of the way you navigate Slipstream and because of how inconsistent I feel when playing the character.
Sure.
And both of those things are seemingly being addressed. I don't know if that sweet spot change on the up special is going to work out well for me. I'm definitely going to misspace that, but it was kind of needed.
So what the one that scares me on it is just the Nair trains. Like they're going to make Nair consistent, and we watched that a lot where
Dan was just smashing
Nair 1-2, Nair 1-2, and it would just carry bigger characters off screen.
And forward air as well, I think, is going to be maybe less of a threat at the extremes, but more of a consistent option as I'm reading it. So when you get hit by your plat buddy who plays Raster and they get the forward air, they're going to know what to expect, and they're going to actually be able to close it out.
Sure. Yeah, I was watching that stream going, they're going to talk about Lux eventually, right? and I get the logic. You can't overhaul everyone all at once, so you have to do things in small little bursts. But the characters that are getting addressed should be pretty interesting to see. You know, Zetter and Rano are getting their tweaks.
Hallelujah.
They're not getting gutted like I would hope, but, you know, that's just me being selfish.
Oh, no, you're totally right.
Yeah.
Deserved.
Yeah.
Those characters are going to be just fine. They're still going to be top tier. Someone in chat said Raster DLC next week.
Basically.
That's basically what we're getting. Yeah, it's a full character rework, which is something I'm so glad that the team is willing to continue to try.
Sure.
Some of these things are very hard to get right, and the theory and the in practice don't always match up the same way you expect them to.
So this is going to be another Clarin on stream for us, and of course Johnny with his trademark Raster. This should be very exciting. Yeah, man. Listen, if you're going to be crossing over from a different Smash game, you're getting into this for the first time. The Simple Swordsman, not a bad option, right? You know, kind of this combination of Marth and Meta Knight to an extent with some of their specials. And very exciting to see how this goes. We are going to Jules Vale for Game 1.
This is a very respectful neutral, by the way. Both of them schmooving right into each other's face, trying to get the other to twitch first, but neither willing to do it. Finally, we get a hit, but again, it's 13-16 after like 5 neutral interactions.
Sure.
That's crazy.
Throne Orc just immediately going for the offstage downer. When I say that's how he plays his bird, that is his catchphrase, right? That's how I play my, and that down strong offstage is one of the key things that make Raster for Throne Orc.
Yeah, you got to be careful with your tech lockout when you're going up against that as well. Very easy to mash preemptively and get hit. So we'll have to see if Dano is able to, not get too nervous when you see that charging up and you know you're going to get hit, which as Clarin, you definitely are at some point.
I got a note for Dano, though. We've got some really great movement, really great aggression, too. Consistently, short hopping and fast falling those fares leads into such great strings, even on a floaty character like Raster. So Torque's got to basically kind of readjust this game plan because right now, he doesn't have to worry about Marlin. He's got to worry about Dano.
They're struggling to get in right now. Dano taking full advantage of the disjoints, really doing a good job of dealing with that down special on shield as well. Very respectful when the slipstream is coming out. That seems to be the name of the game for both of these players. However, the respect has to be earned, and right now Dano's starting to realize I might not need to show as much respect as I originally thought. Oh, but you overcooked.
It happens, man. You shoot for the stars. You try to land on the clouds, but it doesn't always work out that way.
Yeah, unfortunately, those clouds are made of water. They're not carrying you.
112 now on the raster. This is a very nearly cooked bird.
Oh, I was so ready for the down air. I can see the vision. He's like clearly setting up situations where that could come out later.
Right. Okay, that's going to be the down strong, and that's just going to be death. Raster too small, going to be quite easy to get that stock closed out. And now almost a full stock lead here for Dano.
No fear of that down special. Down tilting it in neutral. Dano is just telling Throne Orc over and over and over, you got to adjust your game plan if you want to approach me. If there's no mix, there's no hits.
And we do see switch over here. Goes for a more grounded approach this time with the jabs. But Dano's just going to hold out, go to ledge, and now we're going to reset.
Ooh, see that nair coming out. No dice just yet. Missed wave dash. That's a little scary. That puts him in the corner. Just a little mistake like that is all it takes to put you in a very scary spot. Torque was able to get out of it, but now has to reset neutral, has to find an opportunity, and no, that slipstream's offline. That's not good.
And just the defense from Dano so far finally connects with one of those down Bs, but it's not going to sweet spot that up strong. I got to give him a lot of credit. We're seeing the appropriate crouch cancels during the slipstreams, and as you mentioned, the down tilts on the down Bs as well. He just seems ready for what Johnny's throwing out of.
Oh, see an up tilt attempt there. Maybe going to be able to confirm. No sweet spot yet again. Just wait till next week, Torque. You got it next week. Don't worry about it.
Got to go for it again there. Starting to fish a little bit.
Oh, great tech chase from Dano. Unfortunately, was not able to get the execution part of it, but the ideas are there, which is often more important. That's going to be a threat next time if he just cleans it up.
And a couple times with that now, we've seen him go for these like short hops, just in neutral. No aerials, no nothing, but just knowing that Torque's going to be kind of approaching from that grounded position, really just putting himself in advantage states.
Meanwhile, Dano shutting it out. Basically playing, as we close that game out, basically playing a pseudo zoner just because you have so much extra range. It's just your zoning space, instead of being on the other side of the screen, is just barely out of the reach of those wings and those feet as they try to come in and hit you. Throne Orc struggling a little bit in the neutral. Looked pretty comfortable once they got the confirms going, but no like strong hits on the up strongs as well to close it out. Made it very hard to be able to convert those openings they did get at the end of the combo into an actual stop.
Right, and you see the two of them thinking about it right now. Where are we going to go? I hope that's not controller issues. He pointed to his setup there for a second, but maybe not. We see Clearin ban Air Armada, not a huge surprise. Those side areas are not the easiest ones to recover on, and so is Frozen. So we are going to go to Godai.
Yeah, I feel like those are the level 1 bans in this matchup. Unless your opponent is showing you some unusual reason for you to pick something else, something about their game plan, I think you always ban those stages because Raster's never going to recover low, and you're always going to recover low.
Right. Meanwhile, both these guys, like you mentioned, man, just a very patient neutral from the two of them. Very respectful for the most part, which normally you'd see after like a game 1 like that. You're like, okay, I'm going to start pressing my advantage. And Dano's like, no, I have this defensive game plan. I'm going to make this work for me. And we've just seen it be very successful so far.
Yeah, I want to say that Throne Orc needs to be the one who starts disrespecting, but the problem is every time he disrespects, Dano's ready for it. That's been the problem from the beginning.
Now, these aerial approaches are going to go a long way here. We saw that whiffed grab because of the way he spaced that fair, but it's conversions, man. You mentioned it, right? Like, you didn't get the upstrongs in the game 1. And
okay, we held out. We're okay.
Nice parry. Okay, we got wide blast zones. As you mentioned earlier, not going to be quite as high soon, but for the time being, this is going to allow for a lot of recovery options.
Ooh, interesting sour hit on that down air. Able to come back just fine, and the timing, maybe expecting a fastball there was Dano trying to get the tipper, but instead just gently floated down, again getting punished for hitting that shield.
He thought about it. I was like, he's going to run out there. Oh, my God. That's 139 and a purple screen from the floor.
Man.
Raster, so light.
Tech chase, no dice again. Didn't get the initial read and tried to convert anyway to make up for it, but Dano is just going to keep swinging. That's one thing that is making it so hard for Thronork to get the conversions. It's that Dano knows exactly when he has the frames to press a button, and when he does, he always will.
Yeah, there's a clear familiarity with this matchup, right? Like the way he's spacing, the way he's moving around Raster. You know, Raster is unique in how they approach their neutral, and Dano's just shut it down. Now up 3 stocks to 1.
This feels like such a death by 1,000 cuts in a lot of these interactions. Of course, Raster is very good at getting out of things. Great reversal. But overall, like, Dano's not getting big combos, just getting a lot of them, which is a little bit atypical for Claren, but it kind of makes sense in the matchup.
Yeah, I mean, and in this case, we've talked, if it's not broke, don't fix it. You're getting your little 20s and 30s along the way, and maybe not the full 60s or 70s, but, you know, you're in such a strong position. Why risk it?
I think part of it is exactly what we talked about earlier with the spacing game, the fact that you're playing a pseudo-zoner just because of, again, the matchup against Raster. You're going to be further away when you get your hits. You're not going to go for certain neutral openers because you're trying to stay spaced, and that inherently means that your combos are going to be shorter as a result. So to your point, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm. And then once again, the defense from Dano, man. It looked like he was just going to fastball. Right before he came down, he actually let a single hit fair rip to get him out of disadvantage. We see the reverse up tilt there, closing out that stock, but
now hold on a second.
89%, man. It's going to be tough.
Let him cook.
Didn't have the slipstream, just barely missed the timing on that.
There is absolutely an avenue here. I have seen many a player turn these situations around with Raster. Oh, but this is not going to be one of them. Finding the opening. Dano so aware the power of that low platform on Godai in full effect.
Sure. And it was beautiful to see him. I said, hey, listen, you're going to be coming onto this platform right here. This is how you've been approaching things in disadvantage. Let's checkmate.
Yeah, checkmate.
I've just played phenomenally.
GG, shake my hand.
And, like, that's not a matchup you see a ton of, right? Like, there's not, like, the Raster player base is so small, and a lot of that is how, like, the character is so much different than the rest of the cast.
And hard.
And very hard. And very hard. I can play almost every character in a competent manner. I wouldn't necessarily good. But Raster is one of those characters that I just look at, and I'm like, I know what you're supposed to do. I know
can't
where
do
you're
it.
supposed to go. I got nothing. So, you know, shout-outs to Chork, but shout-out to Dano, man, showing up on stream today and playing extremely well. And, you know, maybe he beats Marlin, right?
Yeah,
maybe he upsets the #1 seed. You never know.
Look, I've seen those things before. They are few. They are far between. But sometimes someone surprises you.
Sure.
Dano, very clearly a skilled player. If Marlin's not ready for it, catch him off guard.
In that matchup, no less, perhaps.
Yeah, there you go.
Marlin obviously has probably one of the deepest bags in the game, but
yeah.
If he goes Raster and, you know, is a little asleep at the wheel, it's pools, you know, probably not, but it'd be funny. It'd be interesting.
I'm down for it. But up next, we're not going to be seeing that matchup. Instead, we're going to see one that I think you're going to be a little excited about. It's Sandstorm up against Mida.
Yes, we have now watched the opposite side of Marlin play into winter semis. This is going to be the other side of things. Sandstorm, as you see on the right, is a Brawlhalla megastar, a legend of the game. Winners of multiple championship series, multiple events. On the keyboard, no less. On the keyboard, exactly. They have fixed that for Rivals 2, by the way. Both players can play on a keyboard, thankfully. But this is somebody that comes over from Brawlhalla and brings his weapons with him. You see the keyboard in hand. You know, he's here for Brawlhalla, but he's very interested in this game and very excited to play it. And I'm very excited to see it, man. Olympia being piloted by somebody like this is really, really impressive.
It's always great when you see the top players from another game dabbling in Rivals or any new game, just to see, like, is this the one for me? Sandstorm, like you said, seems to be pretty interested, and I hope that interest continues to grow. We've seen it coming from other games, like Spargo is taking it super seriously right
look
now.
at Plup. Plup won Genesis.
Plup, yep, exactly. Plup won Genesis. Spargo's gunning for Evo.
This is so weird to look at. Look at him set these controls. I'm sitting there like, wait, that's what that button is?
Oh.
It's all keyboards. It's crazy. And he's just like, I know exactly what this is supposed to be. I'm going to do this. And I'm like, shit, bro, you got it. You got it.
Okay, what's your stick sensitivity, though? That's what I want to know.
Dude, he's setting taunts.
Yo, I'm so sad I can't set taunts on my controller. I kept fat fingering my D-pad, so I'm like, all right, I got to use the walk button on this, or I'm just gonna like keep losing in bracket for pressing the wrong button.
Or like you go to Waveland off a platform and your thumb slips off, and now you go into like the special
That's
tumble.
exactly, yes. That's half of my misinputs.
I'm just like, no.
So speaking of accessibility, the fact that you can rebind that to be a walk modifier, so instead I like accidentally get a random up input, not nearly as bad.
Does everyone in this pool play Claren?
Oh my goodness. Claren players are clearly doing all right today. I know that the character is not as strong as they used to be. Still has some tools. Still making it into what are we, winner's quarters right now.
Yeah.
Looking just fine. Winner's semis in the case of Dano.
So we go to we do not go to Hidojo. Excuse me. We go to Godai. Very very common starter as we've seen so far today. This is, for those coming over for the first time, your PS2 equivalent, of course. You've got your two wide platforms just slightly offset from the ledge, and this actually is going to be a quick little button check. And frankly, if you've got that many buttons to bind on a keyboard, I don't blame you.
So Sandstorm on the Olympia. I feel like this character makes sense. You talked about Claren as like a great starting point, but what if like you don't like sorties and maybe you're like not a spacey shine spam enjoyer and you want something else classic, tried and true? I think Olympia's another good option for that situation. Of course, you are going to have to be very careful about the recovery coming from Brawlhalla. That's going to be a big difference.
What if Makoto but Rat?
There you go. Makoto but Rat.
I don't know, man. Mida playing pretty well. You don't get the winners quarters like this for nothing. Goodness.
Ooh. Pikachu hitbox. Oh, my goodness.
Oh! Did you see that bear into reverse bear?
Holy box movement. What are you doing, Sandstorm? What?
That's gross.
And the coverage, the forward air miss, but it doesn't matter because you got the coverage anyway into the Raffle Copper off the top. No amount of DI is saving you in that corner.
Flambeau tried to warn us. Flambeau trying to warn us, Latini.
This character's too powerful.
This character,
oh
this
my
player.
Goodness. Bro, calm down, Sandstorm. Sandstorm, chill. I'm sorry.
And like Mida not playing poorly either. Mida playing extremely well. You see how they're moving around that stage. And she's doing phenomenal in these little moments. And so not out of the woods, but like this punish game is just crazy to watch.
Okay, now we're seeing Mida doing something very important in the matchup. Parried the crystal startup. That is going to force Sandstorm to use that a little bit more cleverly. It's going to add a bit more to the mental stack.
Oh,
man,
dude,
those
these
were
back airs.
It's nasty. I love how we both went, ooh, that, and then picked different aerials that they did in the string.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much to talk about Sandstorm's doing.
Dude, that's great. That's
so
crazy.
Clean. Okay, we're fine. The crystal is on the other side, which forces you to go to a pretty predictable recovery pattern. Mida taking advantage. As much as we're talking about how crazy Sandstorm is right now, Mida is keeping up.
Yeah, this is a completely even game right now, and Mida's movement is crazy. That little slide off into the neutral B, that was phenomenal work. Going to get that nair, and that's going to be a stock. That is what Olympias don't want to get hit by in this matchup. Getting hit by that tipper fair one sends you into an angle of death, but you're going to get turned around up B.
We've seen that a couple times now. Sandstorm won't get the initial read on something, but will play in a way, this is a very melee thing to do, playing in a way that even if you miss your initial tech chase or punish option, you force your opponent to go somewhere where you can punish the follow-up anyway.
And we see the storms darken. We see the skies grow dark. This is last stock here. Mida trying to find an answer, but just right now, it's all these back airs, man. And look at that moonwalk onto the ledge as well. You don't become one of the best players in the world at your game. One of the most played platform fighters at that without having some sauce. And Sandstorm is cooking.
I am so impressed by both of these players right now. Sandstorm with the very obvious tech skill, but Mida with the fact that they're able to keep up does end up dropping the stock, but at one point was winning that game.
Yeah. Yeah, had a good run for it. Got up about 10-20%, but death, taxes, and Sandstorm, just inevitable.
Classic bands. I feel like they're not as impactful in this matchup, but Olympia does have a doo-doo buns recovery,
right.
especially without the access to that rat trick on those stages. So I understand just the auto ban because you felt so comfortable on this stage.
Yeah. I mean, go back to the most quote-unquote neutral stage, right?
Yeah, I'm really curious how that's going to shake up next week. How much are they lowering that blast zone, Dan? What are you cooking? Oh, get attack punish.
We're just moving. We're just out here pushing buttons.
That late FADC is so terrifying because at that point you're like, oh no, they're committed, and then they don't, and it throws off your timing.
There's such distance on this movement. I don't mean to go quiet, folks, but I'm just marveling at this.
Yeah, this is a Twitter combo, like, extended edition. The entire set feels like those things that you were seeing day 2, day 3 when people were like, look at this impractical, crazy movement that I can do. Sandstorm is just doing it all the time.
Right. It's just part of the game plan. And now Mida fighting back on her own right, going to get that down strong and push Sandstorm further off stage, but gets back, and that's the last thing she wanted because that is going to be a dead Claren there.
Ooh, bit of a mistake there from Sandstorm, a tech skill miss input, and that is all it takes to give Mida a huge juggle and a huge opportunity to come back on this. How dare you miss a waveland against me? Do you know who you're talking to?
Gonna get that back air there. It's tough because Claren, outside of like Fair and F Strong, doesn't really have horizontal kill moves, right? So you're gonna see up air and back air as these common neutral tools. Jab forward smash being an answer there. But like when you send Sandstorm and of course Olympia that high, she just comes back down. Like you're not going to kill this character off the top unless you are just at like absurd percents.
Yeah. One thing that I think is really helping Mida right now as I'm watching this set unfold is that Sandstorm is not playing defense.
No.
Sandstorm is holding forward, and it works pretty well most of the time, but it's giving Mida the opportunity to swing out, to get reversals, and then when you have situations like that, like see how aggressive that recovery was from Sandstorm with the FADC, and you died for it.
And I said she wouldn't die off the top. But no, yeah, this is all gas, no brakes Olympia. We are button pushing. I don't even want to think about how high that APM is.
My man is clicking on that keyboard. I want to know what switches he has. I need to get those.
So the highest quality possible, titanium grade.
Yeah, forget the cherry reds. That's the titanium reds right there. Ooh.
See that flash the shield, and Sandstorm's all over that with a grab. But great jab in the corner.
I want to see a game 3 so badly with
I
how
think
this is
we're
going.
gonna.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, we are. You had Crystal. There was potentially an opportunity there, but it was a little bit difficult to realize in the moment with how low you were exactly what to do, and that can be something that happens if you're playing a character who is still relatively new to the game and this is not your main game. Those split-second decisions, you can miss that you had an opportunity to do a rat trick.
So I'm thinking, I was going to say probably like Tempest, but maybe a wider stage to allow for some more movement options. I personally, I would want to see Sandstorm kind of shorten the stage, right? Be able to set up situations where it's just punish, punish, punish. You can't escape. But it may not even matter because that was a clean 55 from coast to coast.
I definitely think it goes both ways because you're right. I was kind of expecting the same thing. But sometimes what I've found with a character like Olympia who is going to get outspaced by that massive tipper hitbox is you want more opportunity to be able to dash back against it.
Sure.
So you can outspace their big moves with your superior ground speed. And one thing you are getting is the more narrow side blast zones here.
That was such a tech. I don't want to belabor the point, but that was such a technical grab on that after that down air. You have such a small window to where they're actually going to be in tumble on the ground and you can't grab. And Mida snatched Sandstorm out of the air to continue that string.
Ooh, is where it starts again. The Pikachu hitbox. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Forcing Mida into an awkward spot, taking advantage of that platform to get back to stage, and the dash from ledge as well. Sandstorm just jumping through.
That was a dead rat, and just not the case because of the FADC there.
Ooh. Great patience from Mida. Also great read that he wasn't going to follow up after the jab.
Gonna punish, just the jab.
What a drop. Sandstorm starting to drop some stuff, maybe getting a little bit nervous here.
Like you want to call it mash, but it's all so intentional. These buttons, man, are getting pushed. Everything has a reason, a spacing, a decision-making to it. But still, both of these players, like, you just have to marvel at Mida. These moments that she gets right back into this game so quickly.
Oh my goodness, that F-tilt is disgusting, straight out of the jabs. And that is the thing that Mida has been predicting that Sandstorm won't go for. It won him an interaction earlier. That time it lost him one. Finally, we see someone pulling out that neutral special and actually hitting it.
Tries to rip the down smash, but Sandstorm too fast for it. Just I don't know if reacts or maybe just was positioning. Teleports through the stage there. All right, Dan. Nares the down strong, but doesn't get the tipper, so now 135.
This is so tense. It is critical for Mida to not get Marthritis away from this possible opportunity to move on winner's side. Meanwhile, Sandstorm taking full advantage, getting the forward air there. We still got resources to come back. That down tilt almost clipped.
For Mida,
oh my God, goodness, Sandstorm. Again, these reversals mid-air. We talked earlier about how you don't need a hitbox for this game. But I think Sandstorm's proving sometimes it can help.
Yeah, I mean,
and sauce us all up. But they have fluctuated. They have had so many changes, and he has adapted time and time again, showing us that it's not about the character, it's about the player. And that's something I love about Rivals, because that's true for most of our top players.
Yeah, I mean, you have such variety amongst it. Like, that's one of the unique things about a lot of our top 8 graphics is you normally see 8 different characters, or at least 4 or 5. You see all these different players, all these different characters. You have such a variety. And right now, just getting some buttons pushed, getting some buttons tested, unless we're just playing neutral. We might just be playing neutral.
Oh, I think we are just playing neutral. Again, it's the respectful neutral. These players are going in, they're playing in this very precarious, hyper-spaced game right out of reach of their opponent, trying to get them to swing first so that they can whiff punish.
Man, after such a defensive set we watched Dano play against Throne Orc, Marlin is just dismantling them so far. We see finally 2 hits, and now the rinse, wash, repeat, the head and shoulders, no dandruff in sight.
Get up attack. I'm taking this cat for a bath real quick. Ooh.
That down strong move, really good in Rivals 1, really good in Rivals 2.
And with the waveland changes coming up, it's about to be even better. We'll see how that goes down. Dano is going to have to really struggle to keep up with Marlin. We were talking about APM earlier. Marlin and top players in general, one of the things that really sets them apart is very intentional high APM. It's not that random Zetter burn from your ranked set that just mashes aerials and isn't going to hit you. Everything he does is with intention, but he does it faster than you.
Right, right. And it's that thought process, too. If it's not doing something to put me closer to advantage or closer to a stock, I don't need to be doing it. And that is enough. Fast faller Claren going to be victim to that more than most, but Marlin's so ready for it.
The reaction time. That's another thing that these top players are so good at. Their practical reaction time is so fast, because all of us can just do like the online reaction test. Oh my goodness. I can't even get through a thought without this man getting a crazy down strong kill.
So Marlin starts that ground floor, takes it to the first, takes it to the second. The elevator goes all the way to the top. And Dano, a very, very, very quick 3-stock given to him by Marlin. Goodness gracious.
My man saw Crag Pillar. Is like, I could do that.
I don't even need it.
I'm going to become my own elevator. Yeah, really impressive from Marlin. And part of that goes back to what I was trying to say before Marlin absolutely stunted in that last round, which is how quick he is with intentional reactions. It's not the human benchmark test that we all do online. It's recognizing what your opponent is doing and then making an intentional choice to punish that thing.
And it's crazy to think of the cognitive level that goes into something like that, too. When you have thousandths of a second that go into these decisions.
Shout out to the person in chat who's like, yeah, Dano got this. Trust.
I believe. Hey, listen, better start already.
Yeah, you're getting your licks in. Better start already. That's rough. Okay, Dano. This stage is scary.
I like how Marlin keeps doing these neutral interactions and then turning away from them. Much like that. Look, you see these baby dashes where he's just putting himself in a position either to get a grab on a roll or to further punish something if Dano was to whiff or potentially hit Marlin's shield.
Ooh, okay. Goes for the juggle attempt. No success there. Marlin goes all the way into the corner and slips back ever so delicately. Finally, we see that puddle set up as well, and a very scary spot for Dano, who was forced to sit on it. Finds the hit, but no tipper means no kill.
Looked like it was close, especially on a stage like this, but that down strong will show you how small those blast zones actually are from one corner to the next.
There's a reason that Orcane down strong, of every down strong in the game, of any strong attack in the game, is the most unsafe on shield. Because you can see what happens when you get the hit. Marlin has been destroying Dano with this move.
Man, I want Dano to get one. Because if you can get one, you can get two. You get two, you can get three. But right now, Marlin. Oh!
Wait, you could get one? Oh, not the bubble, but not today. There's your one. Let's see if it's going to be two.
It's going to get things started here. Oh, does the neutral be closer that time to actually have an aggressive approach back to ledge?
Ooh. Okay, Marlin swinging when maybe he shouldn't have, trying to close this stock out. Doesn't want the momentum to get away from him. Meanwhile, Dano starting to even this up, actually.
Going to get good DI on that up air. Has to go all the way to the corner for it. Smart not grabbing ledge there. He had just air dodged. Marlin would have ate that for lunch. You don't have invincibility when you air dodge to ledge on this game. And not enough hits done to kill.
Ooh, that's also not going to kill, as is that. Just barely misspacing these tippers. Dano is struggling to find those when they are needed most. There's one, but again, drops it on the up air.
Goes for the grab, was trying to look for that back there F smash combo. Marlin ready for it.
There we go.
That's two. It's an even game, Lentini.
Yo, everybody hold. And if you throw away like that first little bit of sauce that Marlin got going, like this is looking scary. These last two stocks have been all Dano.
I do not know what that down B was. Probably a misinput if I had to guess, because Marlin has now regained control and is saying, hey now, I'm the #1 seed. This is my tournament to lose.
Yeah, I think we both just saw Marlin lock in real time. Back air not going to kill. Goes for another one. Grabs the ledge, resets, and closes it out with the F strong. That puddle was sitting, waiting ever so patiently for its time to shine, and it came out right at the end to close that out in 2-0 fashion for the #1 seed.
What was crazy about that F strong, though, is that he had put Claren in a position where up strong would have worked, down strong would have worked, forward strong would have worked. The way she was positioned just above the ledge there, literally all smash attacks
it's a
would have been
choose-your-own
fun.
adventure.
He took the slowest one and just said, nah, I got time. That's crazy work. That's like shout out to Dano. You have a losers running in front of you, and obviously very, very strong player. You know,
if you can, like, have you ever do that thing where like you bust her out in pools and then you tell the TO it was 0-2, but it was close though. It was close though. That's Danny right now. Like, no, trust, it was close.
Listen, we saw it. You guys saw it at home. You know, that's something you can go to your boys and be like, hey,
yeah, check the VOD.
It's close.
That's the Twitter clip. There you go. Just clip that second stock that you had on Marlin. Clean. That's like 300 engagements right there.
Easy.
Easy.
That's basement. So we are switching over to AOC Acorn and DTL Kero. I don't think I'm familiar with either of these players, but winner semis means one of these folks is going into winner's side Sunday. So there is definitely a ton of talent on either side of the controls here.
This is going to be a fun one, and I see what's queued up after that, which might be a crazy one
I have my eyes on that.
But we're going to talk about these two players for now. Thank you all for joining us, by the way, here at CEO number 15. It's been Lentini and Broza. We're having a great time. This is the final set of pools, of course, exclamation point bracket. If y'all want to see what's going on, if you want to see who's going to make it through to top 32 tomorrow, we're going to be chilling here, closing it out for y'all. I wouldn't have it any other way.
And guys, just because this is the last round of singles does not mean this is the last bit of rivals. We are actually going into doubles immediately after this, and we will be doing all of doubles today. So you have a ton of talent coming up. I see a mysterious green glow underneath the hands of one of these players here. Looks like we have another hitbox player coming to the stage.
The box agenda. Okay, I like it.
Zetter box
that's
or
changing
Olympia
colors
box?
too. That might be a Hout pad if it's changing colors like that. That's my read. We'll see if I'm right, if we get an opportunity.
All right, so that means that the gentleman in blue will be playing the blue Zetter. Olympia was setting GameCube controller controls, so that means our gentleperson to the right in the gray is playing Olympia for us today.
First Zetter on the stream.
Dude, I didn't get a Zetter at all the first round of pools.
That's
I did
crazy.
either.
This character is both popular and good. So you expect to see them a lot.
Broken. The word you're looking for is
Look,
broken.
I was trying to dance around it nicely, but to be specific, Zetter is disgusting.
Yeah. You like down airs? You like down airs?
Oh, I
that are safe on
love
shields?
down airs.
You're about
Thank
to see
you
some
very
down
much.
airs. Now, what's crazy is both of these characters can really blow each other up. These are two fast fallers. These are two very combo-heavy characters. So, really, if these players are on the same wavelength, same seed area, this is going to come down to execution. And I'm very interested to see it. Do we start on Jules? Do we go back to Godai?
These players are going to be sharing a brain cell back and forth. That's what's going to happen. Whoever gets the hit, it's their turn with the brain cell.
Sure.
I'm ready to have a great time here. I love these high-octane matches, and I like that you mentioned the importance of the execution because, yes, you have to, of course, get your neutral wins, but this is going to be a match of punish game. That is the number one factor.
Yeah, I mean, when you get that inch, you have to take it the proverbial mile, right? You know, these two characters may not have consistent 0 to deaths on each other, but 0 to 60, 0 to 70, and then from that point on, you're really 1 or 2 neutral wins away. You see Kero kind of retreating back to the ledge there, kind of thinking about how they want to recover, how they want to get out of the corner, because Acorn's pressure has just been elite so far.
I see these aerials coming out as well from Kero, trying to space with them, but you're going to struggle against the disjoints that Acorn has, both the forward air as well as that fireball. Oh, sends it, I think, trying to hit the crystal there. No dice, though. FGC back to the ledge. Keep it simple.
He tries these jumps out of the corner, but we've just seen Acorn retreat on it. I'm waiting for that big punish.
Oh, you're
on
dead.
that.
No, you're not. I
on this
forgot they
stage.
nerfed that move. We're good.
Uh-oh. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. That's execution.
Okay, yeah, you are dead. There you go.
Wrong, but right, but delayed.
Acorn just didn't want to make a liar out of me. That's what it comes down to. It was a great conversion from Kero, though, to be able to find the Rafflecopter. Not able to get the kill, but hey, what are you going to do?
Nice. Perfect shield on that fireball. Continuing the pressure, continuing the advantage.
Ooh.
This lead is starting to widen, and I am concerned if I'm an Acorn fan right now, Lentini.
Oh, same. This is getting a little bit dicey. Acorn struggling to find the openings because as powerful as this character is, sometimes he can struggle to get in. If he doesn't get his approaching fireball the way he wants it, it's hard to just run in and like raw forward air or raw nair on someone without getting blown up.
That's why you do down air, because it's safe on shield.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Just down air.
Speaking of safe on shield, there is that fair. Going to do a drop through instead, which is why he was Acorn was able to get that punish.
Ooh, okay. Acorn expecting the rollback or the wave dash back, something from Kero, not able to get it. That flip's so hard to punish.
Man. Oh, not the parry in neutral. Sometimes you just got to guess, man. Do you think your opponent's going to go to ledge? Do you think they're going to try to sneak past you? Kero just threw that fair out almost to a position where it probably would have hit both situations, too.
Yeah, if you're going to guess, you got to commit, and that's exactly what Kero did. Throwing out a powerful move that would kill in that situation. There's those crispy down airs you were talking about, that little bit of a stun. Not able to get a punish, though. Acorn given another opportunity to bring this back, but Kero is just so good at winning neutral and is not dropping the punishes. Look at this.
That's going to be
disgusting.
Yeah. And that could have gone a couple of ways, too, right? Like back air into up B. You know, you've got the down air there as well. Like, Kero had their choice of how they wanted to end this game out. And, you know, despite a very strong start from Acorn, that tech flub, that missed cancel, that was enough to just really massively swing the momentum.
That FADC dare to close it out was nasty as well.
Now, for those of you at home that are not familiar with Street Fighter 4, and that is where this character Olympia is based out of. FADC is focus attack dash cancel. So when you see her come in when leaning with that shoulder charge, she starts to light up. That's a focus attack. You can cancel it for movement options, or you continue it out to get the stun, but it is such a strong horizontal movement option for this character that you really just see that shortening, that FADC, into such a great opportunity.
And that's exactly the same way it tends to be used in Street Fighter, in Smash.
Right.
The actual focus attack is the mix-up. You don't expect someone to pull that out most of the time. It's more a movement tool, and that's what makes it such a sick option, because people love movement.
Oh my God, the double F tilt, but the double tech nonetheless. Acorn in such a bad situation, and that is a dead lion, folks. Can't make it back, can't wall kick, and you are off to your second stock.
Kero looking pretty locked in right now. The punish game continues to be on point, and the neutral game as well. Acorn's not even getting an opportunity to start their punish game because this keeps getting hit in these stray confirms.
And if you're picking up Olympia, you are eating this block. You're watching Kero. You're watching Sandstorm. You're watching all of these players who are just like, hey, this is how we do it.
Yeah, this is what this character can do at the top level. So much potential, so flashy as well and fun to play. And Acorn is struggling to keep up with the tempo of it, and an up strong read as well. Kero is in Acorn's head.
Man, it's one thing to be outperforming someone, but to get that kind of read, to be that one step ahead, it just really shows how hard momentum can swing in these kind of games. Honestly, was expecting just an F smash there. Like the way that they stepped back and they knew that the move was going to be swung by Acorn, like that's, I don't know, man. Acorn's got the punish game, but he's got to put this together.
Speaking of, though, missed the shine grab and died for it. That is how punishing Kero is. You miss a single shine grab, a pretty hard piece of tech. Give Acorn an opportunity to swing back at you, and you're just dead.
Yeah, man, I feel for him because you're like, that's frustrating too is some people look at it, some people don't, but he was seeded to win this game. This was I think the 3 seed in this pool, or excuse me, the 2 seed in this pool, and is now just getting blown up. And you're getting blown up by the 4 seed, right? It happens.
Yeah, sometimes it's the luck of the cards. It's a little bit tough. Kero also with a great recovery to stay alive there. I thought that stock was going to be cooked, but stalled out so well. Acorn finds an opening. Finally, that fireball gives you the opportunity to get in.
What a tech, jeez. And the fact that something actually managed to beat out that up B is crazy.
Does not find the down air. That would have been it, but instead the back air into F throw. You expect the up strong in that situation, but good recovery there from Acorn, recognizing that the tech occurred.
So one combo in this game can net you 70%. Acorn just has to find that starter. Some down air shine pressure, something to get Kero to break.
Oh, we saw the shine pressure. Unfortunately, Kero did not break. The crystal did, however. Once again, Acorn able to close out that crystal, trying to prevent Kero from having that movement option, but Kero not deterred, continuing to hold forward. Oh, the read.
Gonna hold hard in on that down tilt. You don't want to get hit by the up B, but just gets more and more damage put on. One neutral loss is all it's gonna take for Acorn to be sent down into losers now. Back row.
Great catch, and there you go.
Yeah. What coverage, man. What coverage.
Oof.
I think that's a snack box.
Ah, okay.
Just from the thinness of it. I have one at home, so
I do like snack boxes.
They're here today, too. Junk Food Arcade. They're in the other end of the venue.
I was playing some of the random indie games on the side on a snack box just because that's what they all have, because it's really easy to bring around. I love that they do that. They come with like 8 different controller types, so anybody can come up and play their games. By the way, y'all, for those of you who aren't aware, like what all goes on here at CEO, it's not just about the Rivals and the Smash and the Street Fighters, the Tekkens. First of all, there's like 20 different games on the docket, so anything that you're interested in the fighting game sphere is probably, there you go. Look at all these championships. Like, this isn't just all the games. This is the Pro League for that game, the Pro League for that game, World Tour over here. It's awesome
Pro
to see.
Tour over my shoulder. You see Arc over his shoulder.
And I think, where is Rivals on here? It might be a little bit to the side.
I don't think we're on this layout, actually.
Oh, that's too bad. There is a Rivals one of these on the one over on the other side.
Oh,
but
we gotta swap
regardless,
that out. I didn't know that. I just thought we didn't have one. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's real cool. So they have this stuff, and then they have Jabali World. Jabali World is full of rhythm games. It's full of indie games. There's a karaoke setup that's active every night. There's the Red Bull Ring. Very cool stuff happening. And, of course, off to the side, we have all sorts of vendors with great stuff. So even if y'all aren't here to enter a bracket necessarily, there is tons of stuff to do and spectate. So I highly encourage you to come on through, whether it's for Finals Day tomorrow or for Tekken, or what am I saying, Tekken, for CEO, excuse me. Number 16 next year, which I can only assume is going to get announced sometime very soon.
Right.
There's no way we're going anywhere.
Yeah, this is, and it's funny, too, because we're actually talking about just what's in the tournament itself. I mean, you got to think about this venue too, right? This has been a dream of Jabali's for a while now to run this specific venue. He's been trying to do it for a very long time. He had contracts, obviously, with the Wyndham Resort over on iDrive. Then, of course, we had the contract with Daytona. You know, this has been in the work. I remember talking with him about this 5 or 6 years ago.
Man,
like he wanted
it's
this
such a nice venue,
and it's amazing. You drive in. You're right next to Universal. We are down the street from Epic Universe.
Yeah.
And we're just sitting here, and you drive up, and it's this beautiful manor front to it. And, you know, I got lucky. We got upgraded to suites for the weekend.
Ooh.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice. I'm up there with Cake and Stango, and it's spacious, to say the least.
That is very nice. My view from my room, it's not a suite. You know, I'll take what I can get. But just looking out, I can see 2 pools and 3 hot tubs from my hotel room. And behind that is an entire golf course. It is absolutely beautiful out here in Orlando. All the more reason for y'all to come on through. Great hotel, great venue, great food in the venue and the hotel as well. I'm very impressed. The ice cream is incredible.
The breakfast buffet this morning was unbelievable.
Yeah, I need to hit that tomorrow. I didn't have time today because I was rushing to 10 a.m. pools. But what are you going to do?
All right. This is the one, man. This is the one I've had circled when I realized I had this block. This is Sandstorm. This is ZB. You have really reflective, right? ZB is a top player, one of the all-timers for Rivals 1. Sandstorm, of course, in his own right. The same for Brawlhalla as well. And the two of them clashing here, interesting on, obviously, more of ZB's turf than anything else. But we watched Sandstorm earlier, man. Sandstorm's got a punish game, and Crag is a fast faller. So let's see what this looks like.
Yeah, I am so excited for this match. You talked about the custom combos that only work on Ollie, and I know Crag has some of those. There's going to be probably some wacky downstrong stuff that only works on her, but the question will be if ZB can even pull that off, because Sandstorm is all offense all the time, and we are already seeing that with this precarious triplats layout.
Yeah, he said, what's neutral? I only operate in advantage state. That F-tilt nearly killed, and this is a wide stage. ZB having to DI away there to not get comboed, but very nearly lost that stock in the process.
ZB also using that recovery very well. This character recovers so far from the depths. You did land here, so you're able to get that cancel. Nice movement there from ZB, mixing it up, making it harder for Sandstorm to close out the stock.
Great get-up attack there. That was almost going to be a guaranteed death in that scenario otherwise.
Ooh. And that's going to do it, yeah.
Okay, I was about
you're
to say,
fine, you're fine.
ZB is low.
Because you can wall jump there, you get a little bit of a boost. This character has a pretty privileged recovery, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, like, listen, the Crag mains are living well, but you just rip an F-smash sometimes, and that's all it takes. Goodness.
Sandstorm keeping even, but this is the problem.
There's those custom combos.
ZB will hit those every single time. Getting aggressive off the ledge, gets punished for it, taking a page out of Sandstorm's book.
Going to get that nair on his shield there. ZB trying to punish out of it, but it's just getting grabbed through his troubles every time.
Oh my goodness. Sandstorm, so consistent. The tiny little fade back on that forward air to make that combo work. And once again, just rinse and repeating, forcing ZB to go low. And now we're going to be fighting in the Fight Club off the bottom saying, hey, please come down here. Brad Pitt wants to talk to you.
I just got to marvel at how Sandstorm moves in this game. Like, just everything is, we talked about the intentionality, but like his micro dashes in between positioning here, just so we can control all of that space. Sandstorm is up a half stock on ZB right now. ZB, the 4 seed in this tournament.
Oh my
down
goodness.
a stock now to Sandstorm.
That whole interaction was so good from both players. The way ZB was able to both recover and use the rock to break the crystal to shut down Sandstorm's level 1 offense. And the way Sandstorm then adapted, recognized ZB has to land on stage here and got the kill anyway. ZB last stock.
ZB not only last stock, but ZB kind of getting his ass beat right now.
Yeah, I was a little worried for Sandstorm going into this. I was like, oh, maybe that last game, it's just like the power levels of these players. But no, Sandstorm's just built like that.
Yeah, and not just the power levels, like the way that ZB finds stocks. Like, he has this creativity and this zaniness to him that is, like, unmatched. And he is just being beat from pillar to post right now.
I wonder what the seed for Sandstorm was. I haven't actually checked. Whatever it is, it was not high enough.
No, that's a stock. That's a game. That's a 2-stock. Listen, as good old JR would say, man, that was bowl and shoe ugly. By the time he started rolling, that was ZB didn't have an answer. We were stuck in the corner for the rest of the game.
Okay, we got the auto ban, and now Sandstorm's thinking about the second one. Of course, you want to get rid of that first one, both because of the recovery and because of the fact that ZB can just chill underneath it. Interestingly, opts to get rid of, Cragland, basically. But the downside is that you have to deal with Air Armada as your punishment.
Yeah, you've got this triangle of death. That's what happens.
Yeah.
You go to Frozen, and he gets to play underneath the stage. You go to Air Armada, you can't recover. Or you go to Rockwall, and the punish game is just insane on there, too. Which is crazy because most Olympias really like Rockwall, too. It's such a great stage.
That sequence from ZB was nasty. Wasn't able to get the rock regrab, but converted anyway. Put him between a crag and a hard place. And now these nairs coming out like my man's playing Ultimate. The mix-up, the change of pace from ZB with these offensive strings.
Don't look now, though, but Sandstorm back in control of neutral. Going to use that invincibility from the ledge dash to come back here.
Ooh, that nair starter. Watch out. ZB dancing with death right now with that crystal in the corner. Yeah, you're going to want to get rid of it to shut down Ollie's recovery. Does exactly that.
Boy.
And the conversion off of the rock break because of the pillar. Now ZB playing ping pong with himself between games.
Man, who's going for that setup right now? Tell me the crag that's going, yep, I got that.
Oh,
the reverse bear?
Oh, no. ZB wasn't able to get rid of the pillar because he was in hit stun, allowing Sandstorm to come back. You got to live just this once, but we are on the cusp of ZB turning this around with a reverse, a 3-stock of his own, and this might do it. Hits him with the rock, gonna break the pillar, resets it. Why, ZB? Why are you playing with your food like this? That's Sandstorm!
You must not know Zachary Benjamin-Lentini. This is him in a nutshell, man. What a response, though. So I'm personally going to credit that more to the stage, the reason why it was a 3-stock. ZB grabbed control back, but that was more stage sequencing because Olympia just cannot recover on that stage. ZB did some great adaptions, won neutral a lot more, but this, I think, is really going to show us who's made the most adaptations, who's made the most conscious thought into this matchup.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that the stage was a huge factor. That said, ZB's adaptation looked phenomenal. We'll have to see how much of that was, momentum from maybe you get the first stock and then you get to play your game a little bit more. Time will tell as we go into our final game of the match. It's a shame that this can't be a best of 5 with how incredible it's been so far, but that's pools for you.
I am a little. Hold on.
I love that animation.
I will say I am a little bit concerned seeing ZB retreat down into the corner like that already. We could be in for a long one if that's the case. He'll put that pillar low and just sit there and think and figure out what he needs to do, how he's going to maintain control. Reverse F tilt, excuse me? Yeah. And you're just dead. Yeah, you got hit off the pillar.
Yeah, that was such a wacky situation. I didn't realize the pillar had come out yet. That is tough for ZB, and now this is where it really counts. How do you reverse this? You have to be aggressive as ZB when you get those hits, and that means if you overextend, you could get punished hard.
You see that fair from the corner. You can only be aggressive so many times. You see what's fascinating, we talked about Sandstorm not really playing defense. It's been dashbacks. It's been movement. There's been no parry attempts. There's been no resets or shields. It's just, all right, your hitbox ends here. I'm going to go here. I have nothing else to say. It's incredible.
And we see ZB pulling out that rock low. Like you said, it gives you time to think. But my man's going to have to think a little bit faster. Sandstorm's APM might be a little bit higher than yours at the moment, and it is looking brutal.
A quick highlight there. If he had teched in place or teched away, the crystal would have got him. Instead, he teched towards Sandstorm, who then said, I've got this covered too.
Down tilt. Interesting, no F tilt there. I feel like that would have killed. Ooh, that's definitely going to kill, though. ZB possibly about to get sent down to loser's side.
Recovers again.
In pools. Okay, we got one. And like you said earlier, if you can get one, you can get two. If you can get two, you can get a game.
I'm just marveling at this because this is the same feeling I had watching Plup at Genesis. You see somebody that you're like, you know and you respect. Sandstorm does not need an introduction. His legacy speaks for itself. But then he comes into this game and he kills your heroes. He beats the people that everyone comes here to see. This is the 3 seed in the tournament. This is not just some winners semis. Like, this is an absolute beatdown of one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, this is incredible. And again, just that pressure. Sandstorm so composed. Like, we're not seeing crazy.
Whoa. That forward smash. Little crazy.
Okay. Yeet.
And just like that, ZB has brought this back to even. Sandstorm would do him so much due diligence to stay in center as much as he can.
Yo, hang on.
Yeah, right there. ZB, not afraid to cheese.
Yeah, you better hold on tight, Sandstorm, because ZB is not done with you yet. You have to close this out, and it is going to be easier said than done. ZB playing so careful. Sandstorm holding center, understands the win condition. It's rock time.
Yep, it's pillar time more than anything else. We are waiting right now. But that may not be enough. He's got this covered. Lentini, he's
alive?
1 hit away now, 142.
Get the rock. Nice mix up there from ZB. Has been playing that a little bit slower. Just goes right in.
Was
a little
bit
of parry attempt there.
And
I think that was a mistake from ZB, and that is all it takes. Caught just slipping on top of the rock one time, stuck in the corner. Gave Sandstorm a free approach, and the forward air closes it out.
And now all of a sudden, brackets are busted. That is a 3 seed. That is somebody we expected to see in winners semis, not of this pool, but of this tournament down in loser side now. This is drastic. You don't see, especially in a game like Rivals, right? The top tier is the top tier. You don't see upsets like this in pools.
Yeah, the game's pretty consistent. Can I get an 07 for everybody in losers bracket right now that has to play against ZB? That's going to be rough.
Welcome to Rivals of Aether, Sandstorm. Welcome to Rivals of Aether, buddy. You got a home here for a long time.
Oh, my goodness.
Microsoft pays the big bills, but if you want to come have fun, we'll have you.
That's rough. What a difficult pool for ZB as well. You're the 3rd seed, and you're up against Sandstorm. Of course, it was impossible for the seeders to know exactly what Sandstorm was going to do. You can't just say,
I think
top Brawlhalla player.
I think this is his first LAN.
Yeah, I haven't seen Sandstorm play. I feel like if we had, we would know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be stunned like I am right now. Absolutely.
So, of course, you got to put him somewhere middling, and then he could flop, he could pop off, and apparently the answer is going to pop off.
Let's see how drastic this is now. Where was Sandstorm in this bracket? Did he get seeded to make top? Yes, so he was seeded to make top 32, and his bracket path, according to this, was going to be a win over Cork and then a loss to Dakbo, so a 24th place finished.
Okay.
And is now guaranteed top 24 on winner's side.
Yeah, 24, that's a reasonable place where you would put someone of Sandstorm's caliber, I think, at their first LAN. But it's very exciting to see him overperforming that. Of course, I love ZB. Very fun to talk to and hang out with, and very fun to watch. But Sandstorm earned that victory.
Yeah, man. The counter pick game, it's almost Puff on Dreamland and Melee, right? He was damned no matter where he went game 2. If it was Frozen, if it was Armada, it's tough draw for
the triangle, like you mentioned. Yeah. The third one being Rockwall. It's going to be rough no matter what.
The 2 games that were played on neutral-ish stages
went in his favor.
Yeah.
ZB was figuring stuff out. I will say, by the end, I was seeing a path there where ZB can get something cheesy and absolutely bring that back.
This is another banger, ladies and gentlemen. We are left with nothing but bangers at this point. You have the Tampa legend, the son of the Southeast Florida. That is Backpack, a trio of brothers raised in Tampa, raised in Rivals. He is, I believe, the eldest and is by far the strongest in this game right now, playing Rano. And on the other side of this is Gakinga. He is the Loxodont crafter. He's the one that puts out the guides, the content. He's constantly online playing the game and doing these Twitch runs and everything like that into Masters over and over again. This is a tough matchup for Lox, but I feel like this is going to be another just barn burner of a set.
Yeah, it is definitely a tough set, but Last time I said that this was a tough matchup, the Locks won. So I'm going to hold my breath. You never know what will happen. Rano, I think, is another character right up there with Zetter, who's very strong right now, has a lot of potential. But we haven't seen the character as represented at a top level. There are those reps, but at a top level, more people are biasing towards other characters, which is very interesting to me.
Sure. And there's even some players, like, I'm blanking on the name now, who is like, listen, I'm very good with Rano. I can succeed with Rano. I do not like playing Rano. I'm going to go play Claren instead. I don't want to do this. Like, I don't enjoy Needlefall and just this rinse, wash, repeat kind of neutral. But, like, I mean, as you said, when the game first came out, you had players like Lucius who were placing into top 8s with Rano, and you had players like BioBurb who's doing extremely well with Rano as well, and Backpack here in the Southeast is a great example of that too.
Leffen popped off a little bit too?
Leffen popped off with Rano as well, yeah. And it just, despite the fact that this character is a menace, just not really seen like that. Where there was more Loxes than Ranos in top 8 at Combo Breaker. It was 1-0, but it was still more.
Now, I do see someone in chat mentioning that this is the best Lox by far against Rano. So I'm really curious if there's some lore there.
Interesting.
If you could follow up a little bit with some lore there, I'd love to know what causes you to believe that as we get into this. But that's a good sign. I'm excited to see like how this character can interact with Rano.
So the most dangerous thing in the matchup as someone that plays Lox is that return to ledge. You want this to be such a good point of it where, you know, Lox comes back, he side Bs, he has mix-ups, he comes around, but Rano can just drop zone bear, drop zone nair, drop zone down. I mean, just push a button and you just explode down there. And, you know, Kinga, ton of damage, but now is in disadvantage and is going to be stuck in this kind of blender right now. And Guard, or excuse me, I keep saying Guard, that's his brother. Backpack, phenomenal in these situations.
Okay, apparently, Gek does a lot of first to 10s against top Rano players.
Hey, listen, how do you get better? But he goes for the reverse so he doesn't have a hitbox. Backpack can just throw out that down tilt and then answers with the fair to finish things off. You can be the best against the matchup and still lose the matchup. I'm curious to see how this goes because, I mean, Kinga is moving at a speed that you don't see Lox move at.
Yeah, this is a very interesting matchup here. Already we're seeing that parry being shown. We saw that earlier as well, and we talked about it, how if you are able to show that parry, and it'll go both ways, like a parry against the meatball, it forces your opponent to think a little bit more critically about throwing out those very powerful tools, and it can shut down some of the level 1 game plan.
Right. Yeah, I'm just fascinated by this because, like, on paper, Rano tears Loxodon apart, and yet Gakinga is just crippling Backpack right now. I mean, just sticking him in the corner, not allowing him to play neutral. When he's got advantage, Backpack's done well, but got to punish that bubble. Can't let that bubble sit out there.
We do have that full Magnum charge, which is always going to be a threat, especially at these percents. We'll see if Gek lets it rip, goes for the strong to burn one level, but you've got plenty of time to get another one, setting up that meatball. Backpack not over-aggressing, which I respect. It's easy to try to stop that magma farming, but there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, both these guys just content playing neutral. Like, you see them dancing around each other. That fair, bad situation. Ooh, no magma, worse situation.
And now we are just trading. There's the needle, not able to get the following forward air, but gets spiked. That's really scary. You do not want to be up against Lox in the corner. He has so many tools in that situation. Fall out of the bubble. Forward air misses again. Back air, great coverage. And great trade.
That's going to be a fair spike there. Little bit of messy play from both of them towards the end of that stock. But once again, Backpack gets it first.
And the problem with that happening is that then you get these early combos and that lead starts to snowball. We'll see if Gek can get the kill here. Struggling right now, does not get the hitbox that he wants.
Yeah, gotta find it, man. 122 is such a high percent for Rano. I mean, the way that this character floats, you've got some confirms, but it's harder and harder to find him. And Backpack is all over this pachyderm.
That disgusting angle as well, going to put Gek into a difficult spot and commits to the up special. Love to see it. That is the way you close out game number 1.
Which was a very even start to this game, and then I don't know if it was reading his approach options, I don't know if it was understanding his neutral habits, but like halfway through you saw the light switch, and then Backpack just took over.
Yeah, figured out a little bit of what Gek was going for. I do think that Lox can struggle a little bit to show those mix-ups. Sometimes, as creative as some things like the meatball setups can be with a character, he can get a little bit predictable after a bit, and once you get comfortable with your opponent's timings, which I feel like Backpack has done, this starts to happen.
Not the full stack needle. Luckily, only a couple bits of damage there. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, he held up. Remember week 1 where everybody held out on that and you could just throw out forward air like 10 times? That was me. I held out. Ooh, Needle going to put him in an awkward spot again. Gek using that move very well, making it hard for Backpack using that move well, making it hard for Gek to parry, which he's shown a willingness to do, so has adapted well to recognizing that that is going to come out from Gek's side.
And just damned if you do, damned if you don't down there. Has the double jump still. Nice tech.
Yeah, we're still alive. If you've got those techs on lock, it can be hard to kill Loxodon off stage, but you get a lot of damage for it. At 150, like half of your move kill with Rano is just going to kill at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the hunt for down tilt begins.
Yep, there you go. A little needle for your trouble as well, just in case we get the tongue action going. Doesn't even need it at the moment. Let's see what happens at the ledge this time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is really smart play from Gekinga. I have to note this, right? You see him going for the reverse up Bs. You don't want to get parried because it just puts you in this immediate death situation. However, when you have a player like Backpack who plays so damn fast, he recognized from the platform that he was doing the reverse up B, got down there and downstronged it in time. Unbelievable.
Oh, that's the start of something big, though. This character's punish game is nasty. Forcing him high. Great mix-up there from Backpack. Look, you still got a week to use that. You might as well spend it now at CEO, trying desperately to get out on winner's side of this pool.
Man, one hit after another. It just adds and adds and adds. I was looking forward to this. I love Lox. I love Gekinga. But Backpack seems, at the very least right now, to have the answers.
Yeah, it is tough. Oh, that little tilt there, the jab to reset the meatball, forcing Backpack to reset at ledge as well, and you're going to run out of opportunities to do that, but Backpack sneaks through, finds that up strong, and now it is 3 stocks to 1. This is looking dire.
Those stalls underneath the ledge there before he went into that action sequence were unbelievable because he waited and waited and waited, and then we were like, okay, he's coming back. Nope, he's going to wait some more. And he waited and waited and waited, and then he had his opening and converted from the corner to the center of the stage into the upstrong there. Just unbelievable play.
Great landing there from Gek. Turning things around. You still have a win condition here if you can hold your advantage state, if you can get the reads. But that is one thing that Backpack has really been shining in, getting out of disadvantage just by the simple mix-ups in a way that is hard for Gek to follow.
Sure. And even right there, right, like you're on a platform. That's where Lox wants you. He had one way out, and he picked the right option. Sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's habits.
Oh, he's so high. He's stalling up there.
Sure, why
not? All
not?
the time in the world. I mean, it's Rivals, too. This game's not going to go to time. But he might as well use the clock as much as he needs to.
Yeah, a little bit of a tough break there from Giga. Actually uses the tusk there off stage to try to cover like a dive kick from Backpack, and Backpack just doesn't give it to him.
Yeah, the forward airs are coming out. That is so hard to deal with because of the way that move is spaced, because of the disjoint that it has as well. Fully charged F-Strong. It forced Gek high, and it created this awkward scenario that Backpack is abusing right now. That didn't get a get-up attack invincibility.
No Magma. Magma would have held it out for longer. Let's see the back throw here. Not quite. Backpack wisely moving the bubble out of the way. That is such a good counterplay to that because Gekinga was trying to stop Backpack from recovering, and Backpack knew it.
Ooh, whiffed grab there, and this is looking dire. Backpack has full stage control right now. One missed tech, one bad bit of DI will do it. But can Gek reverse this? That's a good start, but you get to come back. No, great coverage from Gek grabbing the ledge.
Every hit matters right now for Gekinga. He's got the full Magma charge. No, not quite. There it is. Suddenly, the win is back online, but he just has not had a chance to find it yet. Has to burn it. Air dodges up, and there it is again. Time and time and time again. Backpack is ready with the down tilt on the ledge against the reverse up B.
That was just textbook. For anyone who's been struggling against locks in their ranked games, having a little bit of a difficulty dealing with that up special, that right there, that whole sequence is a great thing to study, to lab out for yourself.
Right.
In the in-game edge guarding practice, by the way, use that tool. See if you can do it yourself.
What can you say besides just like perfect execution on Backpack's part? You know, we saw in game 1 where it was this nice even back and forth for the first probably 2-ish minutes. And then ever since then, I mean, it was just a stranglehold. And that's that happens in tournaments, man. You get bad draws, you get bad character matchups because, you know, let's be honest. You know what's waiting on the winner of that match?
Oh, tell me.
Cake Assault. That's your draw. Congratulations. You won. Go play Cake.
We saw the number 3 seed get upset. Who's to say that the number 2 seed can't also get upset? Anything is possible.
Let's go, Torque. Torque's back on stage.
Going to be up against Apple Wiz. So this is going to be a loser's side match. We've been on winner's side up until now. This one holds a little bit more weight because an upset at this point, there's no more second chances. You're going home.
Man, these have been some kick-ass sets.
They have. As far as pools blocks go, we are eating good right now, and that's some of the beauty of Rivals. Part of it is to like the game is still so new and so fresh, and there are so many updates happening, so many new players still pouring in that things have not settled even at the pools level into a state of calm just yet.
Right. This point in bracket, I believe everything should be to make it out. Let's take a little peek and make sure, but it's getting far enough along, and this is kind of the path we took in the previous block where he just kind of was like, okay, now it's time. We see everybody getting out here.
And, of course, exclamation point bracket, y'all, if you want to follow along yourself, because we can't talk about everything, especially with all the different pools that have happened. If you want to know how we got to where we are with Championship Sunday, almost figured out at this point, that's a great way to do so.
Yeah, this is, of course, losers' quarters like we thought. Slime Apple Wiz losing 2-1 to Terry to make it out winner's side, and is now playing up against Hamburg Fitness Center.
Oh, there's
Care.
the R2CS.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. It's on screen now. That looks so clean. It definitely stands out because of the extra like black on the background. I like it.
Ooh, the bird ditto. Interesting.
Okay.
I don't think I've commentated this yet in this game. There's not a ton of birds.
Yeah, there's not. You're right. I saw BioBurb in chat, so he's probably a little bit excited.
Left this character long behind, friend. He is playing around.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. I forgot.
The double slipstream immediately, and both characters taking advantage of the speed boost.
Yeah.
We are just.
Oh, this is gonna be crazy.
What is it, like all-star mode or 120% mode?
What is this?
Dude, we're mashing, buddy. Custom combos.
Oh,
Let's do
no,
it.
your slipstream went down. Don't worry, I got you. That is so silly. These two just want to play with permanent slipstream up.
Birds of a feather slipstream together. Let's go. That's how he plays his bird.
Oh, boy.
That's how he plays his bird.
All right, Throne Org, I see you. That's a great start up against Apple Wiz. And again, just the double slipstream. It's just muscle memory at this point. It's so silly.
Great perfect shield there. Yeah, both these guys just, I mean, what else can you say? We're swinging out here. Oh, another one there for Torque. Got the sweet spot on the forward strong. Apple Wiz responds with a sweet spot of his own.
Ooh, great reverse
back air.
Oh, was that back air?
Yeah. The nair is like the double kick. The back air is just the one.
I think I might just be blind. I swore I saw two, but that's probably my bad. Either way, he closed out the stock.
Going to see the grab there. Not quite ready for it like we saw against Torque's first opponent, Dano, earlier in the day.
Okay. Ooh. Nice little movement there from Apple Wiz. The little ledge cancel to reset, get the height just slightly different where he wanted it to be.
Oh, great movement out of shield there from Apple Wiz. Says, this punish isn't safe. Uh-oh, not two of those. A third?
That down air is not safe in that situation. Great recovery from AppleWiz. The slipstream from ledge, that's a classic. I don't care if it's the Ditto. I don't care if you get slipstream too. It's going to help me get back into neutral, so it is super worth it.
Torque getting his way back down. Very comfortable at this point. A full stock lead. Does not need to approach anything too drastic.
Yeah,
but
that'll do it. Caught you jumping.
Yeah, down air into the fair. That's something that just confuses me about this character is the fact that down air sends in that direction. I'm just like, huh. Every time I'm just like, interesting. But yeah, that was a pretty confident win there for Torque. You know, got the scraw off stage, and you know, AppleWiz missed the tech. Where are we going? Rockwall. No thought put it at all. He said, if this is open, I'm going.
Head empty, return to Rockwall. And again, the high-low double slipstream. At this point, it feels like a gentleman's. Like, you go high every time, I'll go low every time. All right, bet. We're the speediest birds in the West.
Mm-hmm.
My man was so mad he couldn't join the Air Armada. He's like, I'm going to be even faster than them. That's such crazy lore, by the way. He's like, he couldn't join the Air Armada. He's like, I'm just going to blow everything up.
Yeah. See the jab on shield. AppleWiz looking a lot more comfortable. Okay, Torque. All right. Ooh. But looking a lot more comfortable in the matchup is what I was saying. And just kind of regaining control that he just wasn't able to find in the first game.
Ooh, great catch from AppleWiz. Able to take the first stock this time. The counter pick working very well. Only 32% taken at the moment and continuing to hold an advantage. You can see ThroneOrc dashing away, trying to find purchase to set up neutral, and AppleWiz won't let him.
I mean, why not, right? You've got the slipstream going. There is no retreat back. There is no let me take a moment and get around this. Both of you guys can just run at such high speeds the entire time.
We're finally really seeing that down air come out as well that you were talking about from Orc. Didn't get an opportunity too much in the last set, but this time, so many opportunities to make it happen, and he's just letting it rip.
You see the forward throw there. Just knock him back off stage and hit him.
Ooh, give you a taste of your own medicine. Reads the, okay, this is getting silly.
Oh.
Bonk.
Listen, man, sometimes you just be hitting buttons. It happens.
You can see like the 50-50 reads happening there. Are you going to fade in or are you going to fade out when I try to throw out this down air? In that case, it ended up whipping for both of them. However, the important thing is that AppleWiz was able to close out the stock and is looking poised to do another one, possibly a 3 stock coming out. That is not good. What are you doing?
But he survives. That was such a sick sequence from AppleWiz there. I was like, man, you got to finish your food at that point. Get your Twitter clip. You can't clip the last thing and then drop it mid-combo.
So you just like cut off the clip early and go, trust, he died.
Sajam, did it kill?
Did it kill?
120% on last stock. Torque has got to find something here. Goes for a pretty easy read there. Maybe F Strong would have covered more of it. I don't know.
Ooh, okay, AppleWiz staying high. Great mix-up with that down special as well. Just seems so ahead of ThroneOrc in the RPS right now. Every time ThroneOrc goes to adjust for something that AppleWiz has been doing, AppleWiz is already on to the next mix-up.
Mm-hmm. And after what was a strong game 1 for our green Raster Johnny, and then a strong game 2 for our red Raster AppleWiz, what happens game 3? We see Aromana get banned. We see Merchant get banned.
I'm predicting big stage. I'm based on how that last game went. Yeah, there you go. Pretty relatively big stage. I felt like Torque was trying to set up neutral for so much of that, and AppleWiz wasn't letting it happen and felt so much more comfortable in the boxing game.
Sure.
So this gives Throne not a lot more, but a little bit more space to just move around, not get clipped at 30 and die.
Both these guys just absolutely swinging on each other.
Oh, man, they have been in this corner the entire game.
Right. They said, wait, we go into a big stage? Are you sure? We're just over here.
We're going to the Fight Club. It's like when you pick Hyrule and Smash and just fight in that little corner.
The pit, my friend.
The pit.
The pit.
We love the pit.
All right. Not safe on shield. AppleWiz knows that. That's one of the interesting things about playing the mirror, right? Like, you do these things against certain players and certain characters, and they're not familiar. It's kind of cheesy. But your opponent plays the same character.
Yeah, you have no opportunity to go like, man, your character's so broken and nasty. Instead, you just have to accept, you know what? Maybe they're a little bit better than this and me. Right now, though, it's keeping it very, very even.
Nice back air there up from ledge. Neither player finding a stock yet. Over a minute in. You don't normally see these sequences in Rivals games.
Ooh, that up tilt is not safe. Let's see what happens here. Great coverage with the up strong as well.
Oh!
Okay.
Just find
Go
it.
right back.
0-0 two-stock game right now. Torque trying to get him onto the platform. Does not need to tech up there, so Applewiz jumps out and gets a little bit of a damage on his own.
Once again, it is staying so even. Finally, we had a stock loss, but it was answered right back. They are scrapping in neutral. These early combos from Applewiz. This is just the tax, but the reset on the side special. I love that. Now it's Thronork's turn. Drops it initially. Can you even this up?
Oh, nice fair there to cover the retreat.
Ooh. Okay, he had to pay some of his taxes, maybe not all of them. He got a bit of a rebate on that one.
Sure. The IRS hasn't come to collect everything just yet. Wow.
Ooh.
DIs that all the way up and still dies off the top. That is the Raster struggle, man. You are light.
This special pummel has been working so well. Thronork not mashing B, and Applewiz was like, okay, you're not going to mash B. I'm going to keep using this. And every time is getting big punishes off of that.
Yeah, 3 for 3 for it so far, too. And it's such a big advantage for Raster as well.
Ooh. Okay, just goes for a regular throw. Thronork not as confident that he can get something like that. Special pummel, but the patience from Applewiz. We saw that come out so many times